Welcome to Gray Overload. I'm Anthony, and today I'm going to actually do a review of the UNVR here. So that's my second one from the bottom here. I got the udm-pro UNVR, and then I got the 48 port Enterprise, which is all 2.5 gig switch. And the UNVR here, it doesn't have the screen. It just has that light, as you can see in the corner there. And then it's got 4 drives, and the 4 drives I have in here are SSDs. And overall in the rack, it does a really good job cooling and everything else. And I've had this for a while. If you guys um, realize this, I did an unboxing quite a long time ago, but now I'm actually getting around to doing a review, doing my thoughts. I know the wire's a little bit messy here. I've been adding in some more things here, so it's a little bit of a mess. But overall, I have to say, this UMVR has done, the 4-bay has been really stable, done a really good job, and I've been impressed by what it's capable of doing. Now, I do, we'll go here and we'll take a look at the screen of the cameras, right? I only have 7 cameras on here, and these are 2.5 terabyte SSDs in each bay, which which is only like 6 terabytes of video storage with 1 disk redundancy that you have. But overall, for what I need, that's 28 days worth right now with the enhanced recording, and it's been impressive. I've liked what Ubiquiti's been able to do. I know that you may have questions about the proprietary stuff of their software, and I agree they should at some point maybe open this up to other hardware if they're capable of doing this. I mean, they do with the unifi network application, and that works on multiple platforms. If they could do that with the Protect, I think that would be another benefit to this platform. But so far, the cameras of what I've been able to do, you guys have seen some other videos I have. I've been impressed with the cameras, but the UNVR here, I have been impressed with. As you see, it hasn't had any downtime, and any issues I have been through like beta software. And I've had one issue with the autofocus of the G5 camera, but support was quick to be able to help me do a workaround until they fixed it in firmware. But that wasn't a unifi, Protect issue, right? That wasn't this UNVR issue. That was the camera on that, and ever since then, this has been rock solid. It's been able to help me, been able to show some clips to people that, or to law enforcement that needed to see clips and stuff. So been able to do that, and that's been helpful. It's been a little bit peace of mind. I know there's people, neighbors and stuff that are glad that there are that there's cameras at least someplace watching. I mean, some of them have cameras as well, but even if they have cameras, they're glad that there's not just one section of cameras, right? Well, or the one place of cameras in case something were to happen in the neighborhood. So let's jump over and take a look at the software overall here, and we'll go from there. So here's the unifi software. We're going to start with the control plane here, and you can see what version I'm on, 4.0.18. I'm in the early access release channel. By no means do I recommend most people to do this. It's just something I like to do, being an early release and just test out stuff or give feedback. And so I got Protect installed, I got Interspaces, and Protect has 4153 there, and you can backups, and they got storage, right? And you can see here these are crucial drives. They were like 70 bucks or something, 75 bucks. They were underneath $80, I know that. And so I picked up 3 of them for this, and then this fourth one is some other one. It's a Team Elite, all 2 terabytes, and they work. You see that the lifespan's like 87%, 88%, someplace in there. And after a year, it's chewing through. I expect to replace these at some point. I would like to go to bigger drives, but so far, there's a cost associated to it. But it's basic protection, and it's just 1 drive. You can switch this to 2 drives as well. Yeah, I'd say for the most part, most people are probably going to do 1 drive. I can see where you do 2 drives in certain scenarios, but I'm going 1 drive here. You have console I don't even know what's all in here. All your console stuff and transfer ownership, factory reset, blah blah blah. And I'll have to blur out some of the stuff. And then you push to notifications. As you see, you can just set it up however you like. I got push notifications. I got emails on some stuff. There's they do a pretty good, and there's protect notifications here. Your system and your record manager are what you expect. This is your local system and the record manager. There's a lot of like personal stuff of your own UNVR in here, and the recording manager overall. You got detections. I can click in detections, but you're just going to see a whole bunch of people, and they're doing a lot better job of detecting people, animals, and putting that stuff in. I've been impressed with the work that's been putting in there. It used to detect, and sometimes it still does, detects me or my kids as animals, and that's not exactly right. So they're doing that. Your playback is just the one camera playback on the main screen. Unified devices, I got Samver cameras, G5 Pro, G4 Pro, G5 Bullet, 2 G4 instance, 1 G3 instant, and a maybe, yeah, and a G4 Pro doorbell. So that's the way that goes, and then that's your unified devices, and then your dashboard here. And I'll blur out some of this. I'll have to, but you'll be able to see all your cameras here on the dashboard. You can set up different cameras below, or how your camera views are. You can see right now I got 28 days and 18 hours and 45 minutes. They say earliest recorded from 29 days ago, and that's using their enhanced recording on everything but the G3. So G3 cameras do not have it, but I've enabled enhanced recording, and that took my backup from 20 days to 28 days. So it was a significant jump in storage, or yeah, it was a little bit more than that. I guess right now I almost have 10 days more, because I think it was at like 18, 19 days, someplace in there, 17, 18, 19 before, and now it's at 28 days. And as the recording kind of replaced, I wanted to do this long enough so the recording can kind of replace, but now that it has, I got like 28 days as it's been able to kind of flush out. And the G3 camera is just, it doesn't get that much. It's not one of my main cameras. It's one of the monitors, just something more basic. Doesn't have a lot of motion, and everything else is just I guess it does have quite a bit of motion, but it's not really a huge concern for me. So that one, even though they're all set the same recording length and always record all that stuff, I get about 28 days, records all the motion, does a really good job of this. Now I think one thing, with this being on their Unifi's own device, that's a huge negative, with a lot of people wanting to do a lot of more openness, have it on their own hardware. The one nice thing that they have introduced, that I wish that they would just also just release it on whatever, is that they've introduced this where you can put the recordings off to like a cloud storage or a NAS, or local storage, and that is one great addition. Now if we could, I haven't tried all this yet, because I got to set up my one backup computer to basically offload all this data, but have that all automated and make it a real seamless for not just a NAS, but offline storage that could, or a local storage. That'd be really kind of a cool, just automatically dump all this data once it starts rolling over after the 29 days, or however you can set it up. Set it up for, I want to roll over in, or have this much data backed up, and when you can roll over everything off into the secondary storage. There's some of this stuff that I think you can kind of see where they're going with it, but as I haven't needed to go anything, right? My goal was to have about 4 weeks, and I have 4 weeks of backup. So that's where I'm at now, and I could see myself deciding, hey, maybe I want to throw in like 16 terabyte drives in here, and just to have a whole bunch of storage, because I see myself getting more cameras. I want to kind of put a lot more cameras on my property, so they cost money, right? So it's not like going to be like tomorrow I'm gonna, or this year I'm gonna have all these cameras, but I like to put 4 more, down a little ways by my shed, at least 4 cameras by our swing set that's a little bit further down in the property. And I want to upgrade one. There was a incident in the front of my house, and I like a little bit better one to have better license plate detection, which I'm hoping um, the AI Pro, that one would have a little bit better than the G5 Pro. So we might be getting that with the light and everything, with the extended sensor and stuff, just to be able to try it out. But this is really about the UNVR and how it works. Now, part of that is how well the cameras work integrated in the system, which has been a positive here as of through this entire experience I've been doing. But one thing I like to see a little bit more, or one thing I like to see, is that if you can put this entry into the UNVR stuff, even the bolts just a little bit, or the instance just a little bit cheaper, and have there's an entry, I think a lot more people would be willing to jump on. One thing I like is that it's all local, so the UNVR stuff is all local. And granted, you can use the unifi site, unifi, .ui.com, to kind of get into things, get in your console, but there is a way to VPN it and have it more gated off than what even I use it as. But there's a benefit here of it being local storage rather than it going up to a cloud, and you don't know what the company that owns that cloud infrastructure is going to do with that device. And I just wish that unifi would be able to kind of get that message out there a little bit better. I know I'm talking about it as an option to people, and more people are looking at this as that's not a bad idea to have something more local. But looking at what the whole ecosystem's capable of, is that there's benefits to this if you're willing to put in a little bit of effort and set up your cameras and stuff to have that local storage, rather than having something that goes to the cloud and you don't know what that data is dealt with. So there is that. One other thing is the camera capacity. You can see that the UNVR can have it has a camera capacity. So I have 2 4Ks, three 2Ks, and then two HD. And so there is that, right? I'd like to add a few more here. Hopefully the AI Pro will be, so the main one for my driver will be upgraded. The G5 will move to where the G4 is, and the G4 will go next to my shed to start monitoring that, and then I'll move the instant that's on there to a different location. But there's a lot of money that's involved to get all of this bought and moved. So one other thing I'd like to see is I have a UNVR, or unifi home Dream Machine SE, is kind of stacking with using that as like a backup drive, or just keeping some recordings on there as a quick backup. That would be kind of a cool option. I know you can stack, or being able to have more cameras, especially with the that new Pro one, their one with 2 drives. If you could additionally stack this with the home Dream Machine 2, or the Pro, whatever, I can't remember what it's called, but the one with 2 drives, that could have a 1 disk redundancy. You could add more cameras with this, and you could stack and just make it kind of unlimited stacking. I get that that's going to be a testing nightmare as a developer myself. I can only imagine what that's going to be like. But I think that would be another benefit added to the consumers, of being like, I bought into the ecosystem. I can now not just use that Dream Machine with the UNVR. They can expand together. And for me, one thing I really liked, and when I got in the ecosystem, was, okay, the UNVR, it was an easy move for me, right? I took the 2 terabyte drive out, I threw it in the UNVR, and I was off and running. It was a really seamless transition. Let's say you can even make that more seamless, which is always possible as time goes on. You kind of work with the software, make it easier. And if you could stack, not just 2 but 3, 4 of these, or even different models and all that other stuff. Like I have the 4-bay, now I want to go to the 7-bay model. Have that stacking, have that compatibility to that. I think that would actually intrigue more people as, let's say I grow to a point where I have too many cameras. As a tech person, that could happen. I don't see that as for many normal people, but sometimes us tech people decide to spend a little bit too much on, oh, we can try this, we can try that, which I think is a great idea, because we like to push if you're a tech enthusiast like I am, you like to push the limits of hardware, and getting another piece of hardware is always fun. So that's how I kind of see it, is that if they keep introducing more and more features that people are asking for. And I have to say, Unify had a problem with software probably about 2 years ago, 18 months ago, and they've really got their act together and started ironing things out. I have been impressed of where they're and how they've been moving. So I want to give them, kudos on that. And these are just, my thoughts in all of this. So I've been rambling now for a little bit, and my conclusion is that while there's some downsides to not having it on your own hardware and everything else, those that proprietary stuff, I get kind of still queasy about it, right? I am more of an open source type person, letting it go on whatever hardware you have. I like that a lot better. I have been impressed with the ecosystem and how these cameras are able to produce or work with the Unifi or UNVR. And maybe someday I get my wish and being able to put on my own hardware. One thing I do notice is that even if you can put it on your own hardware, that's the thing for enthusiasts to kind of do. Most other people that are going to look at this, if I'm liking it and I like the what it's capable of doing, I'll recommend it, and they're going to buy your device, and they're going to enjoy it, hopefully like I've enjoyed it so far, and not have many problems like I haven't had many problems. And I've been impressed with tech support when there is an issue, be able to solve that. But overall, this has been a rock solid system. I haven't had any downtime with it, only some camera focusing issues or that sort of thing. But the most important part is not having any downtime, having 100% recording, and that's what I had. It's on battery backups and all this other stuff, but that is the most important part, and to me, that's a good thing about this. So if you're looking for something right now to get, would this be an option? Yeah, if you want to put the money out for it, I can't remember how much it costs. It's like $300 or something, maybe 350. That's not bad. You're buying into an ecosystem. You're gonna have to buy the cameras. The cameras are expensive too. But if let's say you start with a Dream Machine Pro, where that's OneDrive, I think that's the option or route that most people should go, is start out with a Dream Machine and move their way up. They get the router and everything else. If you don't already have like a, PF Sense or something else, that Open Sense, something else you're already running, this is a good option for you there. So thank you so much for supporting Graverload. If you have any questions about this, leave them in the comments below. I'll try to get to whatever it is, whatever questions, and hopefully I'll be able to answer it here. I do appreciate all the support. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon on this video, on this channel. It really does help out the channel. And until next time, God bless.